It occurred to me as we have been talking green and all of these things. Jay, I apologize to you. I did not get you a Shamrock Shake today.
You know, that's right. I told you a number of years ago that it was the most delicious thing I'd ever tasted in my life. I didn't have one until I was like 2 years ago.
Oh, we remember.
Yeah, it was
I'm sure you let everybody know.
I killed the whole thing in about 45 seconds.
It was transformative.
Yeah, it's okay.
Then you slept at the station over the next 6 hours.
Yes, I did. So Matt and I were talking about the weather word, and I had selected shamrock.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know that we were going to do that whole little riff there about shamrock. And then Matt had said, I was hoping that your weather word would be corned beef.
Yeah, we can do corned beef today.
I mean, I'll let you pick. I know it says shamrock.
Yeah.
But if you want corned beef,
I was just looking at a
get
map.
corned beef.
I was looking at a map and it looked like corned beef. I'll show you this. Can we make it corned beef to go easy today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it. All right, corned beef's the weather word. I appreciate getting to pick today. Boy, what a luxury. We'll get this in, no doubt. I'll probably forget when the map shows up. What a 20 hours it's been. We were in the 50s all last night. I told my wife when I got home, I said, turn the heat off, honey. It's not going to be running at all. And it didn't. I mean, we were in the mid-50s, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We were still mild this morning. You see that little bump out ahead of the cold front. And then the cold front went by. Models nailed it, boy, right around noon. And then we've been back in the 40s since. Not bitterly cold right now, but it is colder. That wind certainly not helping things out. We're generally in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Getting colder back towards Ashland and Mansfield, falling back into the mid-30s. We're all going to head back into the 20s tonight. So any of that rainwater we've got out there still, puddles, whatever happens to be, we are going to have some freezing overnight tonight. Winds have been gusty at times. We've had gusts over 30, 35 coming into the downtown Cleveland area over the last 3 hours. Out in Jefferson, 36-mile-per-hour gusts. Apparently no wind in Elyria, the eye of the hurricane there or something. But it is going to be blustery this evening. And look at temperatures versus 24 hours ago. We're down anywhere from 15 to 20, even 30 degrees down towards the south as this cold air not just hitting us, but it's hitting areas that were mild yesterday, all the way down towards Louisiana, the Gulf Coast, even Texas. So here's the system right now. We've got the rain pushing out towards the east. We're dry now. You can see the cold air we're tapping into. This is what we're going to keep our eye on over the weekend, though, is this area of low pressure. It's going to rotate around. You can see it coming back in at us. And eventually that low pressure will kick up lake effect snow all across the Great Lakes. Numerous winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories downwind of Superior, downwind of Michigan there. You can see where our advisories are, and even a lake effect snow warning out for areas near Watertown, New York. Lake Ontario going to do its thing as well. For us in the near term, though, this is what we're concerned with. Winter weather advisory. We'll have winter weather driving conditions. Not tonight, not tomorrow morning, not tomorrow midday. This is tomorrow late in the afternoon, tomorrow evening especially, and then into Sunday morning, and that encompasses all of I-90 all the way up towards the Buffalo area. So keep that in mind if you have travel plans. So let's watch how it develops here. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Blustery around the area as we go throughout the evening hours. And then eventually we'll have maybe a little bit of sunshine tomorrow morning before these clouds thicken up. This is going to be the secondary front that moves through here and kind of kickstarts the lakes. It'll shift our winds just ever so slightly and bring a little moisture in here. So a little burst of snow tomorrow morning up until about the noon hour. Should be quick, should move through pretty quickly as well. And then we'll go quiet again in the afternoon. It'll be cold, though. Look at temperatures. Wind chills will be in the teens all day long. We'll have a wind out of the west. It is going to be a raw Saturday afternoon, despite the fact we may have some sun peaks. There's that. By tomorrow evening, we'll start to establish some lake effect bands, mainly out in the snowbelt east of Cleveland. Some of those could get into Cuyahoga County as well. So by tomorrow evening, conditions could be going downhill pretty quickly out in the snowbelt. Keep that in mind if you do have evening plans tomorrow that take you out in the streets, out in the snowbelt. Otherwise, it's just cold, and we've got some clear skies mixed in with some clouds down towards the south. The lake effect snow will continue as we go throughout the night. Bands may shift south a little bit as well, coming into some areas of our secondary snowbelt. They are not going to last too much longer after that shift. That's the good news. So not expecting big totals outside of the primary snowbelt. And look at that's how we clear things on out as we go into the day. In terms of some of the numbers here, again, so we could be seeing anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe 5 or 6 if this band establishes itself out in the snowbelt, a trace elsewhere. But you notice some of the coloring here kind of looks like corned beef with some of the pink getting on there a little bit. That wasn't the map. I didn't put the map into the forecast. It was cold air coming out of Canada and it was pink. I was going to say cold air and corned beef just coming down on the U.S. Oh, if only I could do it next half hour. The weekend looks like this. Again, some snow around 30s. That's optimistic. And then 30s on Sunday as well. Sunday, the better of the 2 days. Where do we go from there? After that swirls on through, we are quiet to start the week. A beautiful start to next week. But there's a system later in the week that we'll talk more about in the next half hour. We've got another rainy system that could bring some thunderstorms to the forecast. Union Home Mortgage 7-day. Oh, it is nice to know that tomorrow is going to be the coldest day out of probably the next 10 or 15. A nice warm up next week as we bring back the first couple days of spring there. We'll be back in the 50s to near 60 degrees.
Couple of things. See what happens when we let you pick the weather word, number one. Number two, Betsy told me this. I never really thought about this, but there's a reason that Betsy and Matt aren't wearing green today.
Because the green screen.
Oh,
The chroma key wall, they would just
Can't see it.
disappear.
Yeah.
So that's their excuse for not
It's
wearing
not that
I
we're not
wondered,
festive.
too.
Yeah, and I got a little tiny bit of it in my pocket
say,
square.
where's your green?
It's right there. You can see it.
Peyton wore orange this morning, and we got some nasty grams about it.
Right.
And it's,
really?
it's one of the
Understand
colors
why.
on the Irish flag. There's this whole like Catholic Protestant explanation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this
All
is
right.
this is the life we lead here on television. Nasty grams about St. Patrick's Day outfits.
Living the dream.
People
You
be
look
nice.
lovely today, Matt. by
You
the
too,
way.
Bets. I love your coloring.
Thank you, and my pin. Don't forget that.